Alright, hey you guys, again. Um, alright, I think I got the other video fixed. Um, yeah, I don't know what happened there. It just went crazy, and what I think it was, when I went back and looked in my Windows Movie Maker, the area that corresponded to the 4:47 time when it flipped and went crazy and stuff was when I had edited a yawn out. I was yawning really bad, and that's why there's like a bunch of cuts in that video, because I kept yawning. I've got iron deficiency, and if I'm chilled, like I'll yawn worse. And we've got the fan on because I always have to have the fan on, like I said in my 10 things video. And I was laying right underneath it at the foot of my bed. So I might yawn a time or two in this video, but I mean, it's, you know, 8:55. So, yeah, but I'm recording this directly out of YouTube, and I'm running my minicam with it. So that's where this came from, my name down here on the bottom, and where my clock stamp is from. It's a program that I use in a webcam-based chat program that I get on. Okay, so I said that I was going to come back and make another video tonight talking about my reading with Cheri22. So that is what we're going to do. And I messaged her originally to do it, March 26th, I believe, was when I first ordered my reading. And I got the Motherlode Reading is what I got, which the Motherlode Reading is supposed to include the family bypass reading, as well as a Reiki session and a Archangel reading. So she wrote me back, did half of the reading so far, and responded, I think it was Saturday night, it was the 7th, and said that she would get back to me to finish it up tonight. So I'm waiting to hear back about the Reiki session and the Archangel, but I'm going to share with you what I've got so far in my reading. So, yeah, I just closed my email. So, yeah, it was on March 26th was when I originally wrote her. And I gave her a little bit of background. I said that this was a TTC reading and that my husband and I are trying for our first baby. I said I had 2 children in my first marriage, so this will be my 3rd child. But I had miscarried triplets in 2001. My son had been twins, possibly even triplets. The doctors think there's a good chance on that one, mainly because when I was in labor with him, I broke 3 bags of water. But I mean, he was at least twins. But I know I had miscarried in like May, and then I had another miscarriage of just a singleton baby in 2006. So that's 5 angel babies for me and 2 live births. And I went on to say that my children now are kind of a tough subject for me because their father, or sperm donor, however he needs to be referred as, left me in a bad situation, so I allowed them to be adopted by a family back in my hometown. I said, but it's an open adoption, and at a certain age, they could choose to come live with me again. Said their names are also changed in the adoption. So I said I provided her with both names because she asks for if any readings are going to be done on anybody else, loved ones wise, they ask for their names. So my daughter was born Aaliyah Rose, but she now goes by Rose, and she was born December 6, 2002. My son was born Charles, but now goes by just Charlie. His name is legally changed to just Charlie during the adoption, and he was born December 8th, 2005. So the exact times of the miscarriages were October 2001 was when I miscarried the triplets. May 2005 is when I miscarried my son's twin, possibly a third one at that same time. And then July 2006 was when I miscarried my singleton, which was the last time I've been pregnant. I haven't been pregnant again since the last miscarriage in July 2006. I said my husband and I now have been trying since July 2009 when we got married. So we're going on 3 years almost. And I told her, I said, I don't know how many questions I can have answered, but I would like to know about my children that are here. I said, I want to know if they understand the decision that I made, whether they resent me for it, or if they accept it and still love me. And then I also want to know if I will ever have a close relationship with them. And then lastly, what are they going to grow up to be? And this is the answer she gave me to those questions concerning just my present children right now. And she said, this is going to be a tough thing in your life, but it is something that you have to realize was something you did out of love. You did what you felt was the best thing for them at the time, and it is something that you have to realize was the option available to you at the time. The people that adopted them have been good parents, so know that you have done right. She said, as far as your daughter and your son, they're not going to understand, but they will seek you out, but will have issues with it as there is always going to be an understanding thing. But that is going to come with time. She said they are going to want to get to know me and understand things better, and I will have a relationship with them, which is like so amazing to me. I have a relationship with them now. Just obviously it's really strange because the adoption happened. My son was really, really young when the whole process started and stuff. He was only like 3 months old. So there's really not that much of a bond or connection with me and my son because he was so young, and he's just now getting to the point where he's actually starting to understand it more. My daughter, though, she was with me until she was like 3 years old, and so there was a really, really strong bond there, and so that's why I asked if they're going to resent me, because I feel like she's just going to hate me. Like, I feel like she's going to feel like I abandoned her. She says that Cheri says that she has a feeling that it's going to be more like an aunt would be rather than a parent, which she said, but by that time, I'm going to accept it and actually cherish the connection, even though it's going to be hard at first. And that's really how I felt about it for a long time. I felt like I'm going to be more of a godmother aunt kind of role, and I've accepted that, and that was something that I had to start accepting before I went through the adoption. So that was, kind of warranted. She said that she is seeing my son not being as emotional about it as my daughter will be. But I just need to be patient, and my daughter does turn around, coming around a bit better. So that's like really positive. As far as what they're going to be, sorry, I got cat hair in my mouth. She says they're showing my daughter being linked to a doctor and my son linked to an engineering field. And this is something that I can totally see out of them with updates and stories and everything I hear about them. And I mean, just knowing my daughter's personality from when she was with me, she is a very, very caring, outgoing kind of person who is always worried about the other person and everything else. So, like, I can totally see her being a doctor or some kind of field, medical-wise and stuff. And then my son, he is forever playing with trucks, interested in trucks and cars and the mechanics of things, and just wanting to make stuff work in different ways that he sees to be more efficient. So I can totally see him getting into an engineering field that's mechanically related. Now I don't know if that's the engineering field that she's thinking of, but I totally feel the engineering field out of it for them. So then moving on to the next part of my reading, I said that I had questions about mine and my husband's career paths as they are now. I said, is he in the right career now, and will he be staying in the same general career field? Said, am I going to finish school and find placement in my degree field, and with our chosen degrees will we finally find financial security? Also, will our careers cause us to have to relocate again? We've had to relocate a couple of times. The first time I relocated by myself because I relocated to be with him, which he's asleep. I don't know if you actually seen him on cam, but he's next to me, passed out. But I relocated to be with him, and then I finally got the cat hair out of my mouth. And then after he got out of the Marine Corps, we had to move to North Carolina, or to from North Carolina to Pennsylvania for him to go to school. And then after he finished school, we moved down here. So I've moved 3 times since June of 2009, and he's moved twice. So relocation is something that I'm like kind of fighting with, because I do really, really like it here and I want to stay here. But what Cheri says about it is, I really feel that your husband is going to stay where he is right now because he is going to ensure that he has good stability. I get the impression that he is okay with what he does right now. It's not exactly where he wants to be and where he sees himself in the near future. I just get the impression for right now this is what he wants to do in order to make everything else line up. She says, I get the impression after you finish school, you are going to be able to find a position within 3 months. She says, I get the impression that after you will have worked there for about 18 months, your husband will be given an opportunity to relocate. She says, I see you not being happy about it because you're feeling settled, but I also get the impression that your husband is really going to be geared towards taking it because it's a big improvement for him and more where he wants to go. So I'm really kind of anxious to find out what that is, because right now he's working in corrections. He went to school to do mechanics, to be a diesel mechanic, but the job economy right now, there are just not jobs available for it. And in the middle of him looking for jobs, he was referred to the county corrections in Talladega, and he pretty much got hired on the spot. So we're, he's there, and it isn't exactly someplace where he's planning on being, but yet he is content there at the moment. But he's hoping that he can use that as a stepping stone, and him being at the jail kind of get his foot in the door for moving on to regular corrections, possibly position in the actual field, like being a police officer or something like that, sheriff's deputy or something. And so I'm kind of interested in that. And then I know since he's been out of military, he's really, really wanted to get into contract mercenary stuff, like with Blackwater and things. So, like, if that was something that ended up coming up, and that would be what caused a relocation, I don't know. Like, it would be really, really strange, but that is really something that is way more along the lines of where he wants to go. And he's my husband, so I really have no choice but to stand by him. That's our rule, and I would do it. So, and then I had ended up asking her about my great grandma, also, who was my grandfather's mom, and she asked me for her first name. So I didn't get any reading about my great grandma. in this, so hopefully in the response that I get tonight, I will get some of the reading response for that. So I sent her my grandma's name back, and then we went on to talk about the kids. So I know in the Motherlode reading that it was supposed to include the child we're trying to conceive now, plus up to 4 additional children on top of that. Excuse me. So I said I really hoped I get to hear about all of them. I want to know, how many my husband and I are going to have, and if there are any signs of multiples again at any time. Like, I love multiples. Like, my grandma ran a daycare the whole time I was growing up, and we had 2 sets of twins there. We had a set of boy fraternal twins and a set of girl fraternal twins. And twins are just awesome to me. I absolutely love twins. And when I had miscarried the triplets, like, it was really like, I was like, wow, I actually have a chance of having multiples, which multiples do run in our family, and they've been staggered out like almost like every 5 generations. Well, me and my sister are like the 5th generation. So it's like in our generation to have it, and I really kind of hope that it comes out in me, and that I get a chance to do it. Multiples are so much fun. Everybody keeps telling me, oh, they're so much work. They're so much fun to me. I would love to have them. But I said that, we have the names picked out that we want to use, and I really have hopes and dreams that I will get to use them all. I didn't tell her how many names we have picked out, and I didn't give her the names that we have picked out. And she responded to all that with, she says they're showing a boy coming first, and they relate him to July. So July can be either the birth month, the conceive month, or the month I find out in. So what it would be conceive month, or month I find out in this year, or it would be we would be having a boy July of next year. And where that would break down would July, if we conceive or find out we're pregnant in July, we'd be conceiving around June, probably the late June cycle, and July, or possibly early July, depending on when in the month we found out. But then that baby would be due like Marchish, which would be around my husband's birthday, or if that's related to the birth month, then we would conceive in October. So that's kind of cool. I'm kind of leaning more towards it being the July one, being the conceive month, and it does make me kind of nervous, but the times that I've gotten pregnant have been July, August time frame for my triplets, and then my daughter I got pregnant in like February. I was getting pregnant about this time in 2002 when I got pregnant with her. And then the same with my son, was like February, early part of March. And then my other miscarriage was in July. So the 2 pregnancies that I didn't carry anything to term were conceived in the summertime in the July time frame. So, like, it makes me really kind of nervous to get pregnant at that time. But, I mean, knowing the experience that I've had in the past, obviously, we would know what precautions we need to take. So, I mean, obviously, things could be okay. And then she says that they're also showing another boy, so that's 2 boys, and they relate the second boy to May. So May would either be, again, the birth month, the conceive month, or the month I deliver in, or the month I find out in, I mean. So that one would put us getting pregnant like September, which would be my birthday, to be able to deliver a baby in May. or if we get pregnant or find out in May. It would be really kind of strange, because if we don't conceive the first boy in July, and we were to conceive it in October, and it would be born in July, we would pretty much be getting pregnant again, like right away almost, like just a few months for it to come back around and have a July baby. So that one kind of like was kind of interesting to me and stuff, because if we have, get pregnant in May, we would deliver in July, so like September, October, no, like September, late August, early September, we would be getting pregnant. So that'd be like a month after having a baby. So that one was kind of like, ooh, to me, but that would be awesome to get pregnant that soon. Um, I've always thought that I was going to have a lot of kids, and always did want to have a lot of kids. So, like, I'd like them to be really close together. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. And that's what she's got so far. And she's going to be doing my Reiki session, like, again. She's going to be finishing it for me tonight. She's got like till like 1 o'clock or something to have it finished for tonight. I'm not really rushing or whatever about it. I like part of the majority of the reading that I got so far. I am kind of looking forward to hoping that she does connect with my great grandma, because that would be awesome to me. But yeah, so far it's actually pretty cool, and I'm like really glad that I got it done. Like I've actually really enjoyed this. So yeah, if anybody is interested in getting fertility readings, there are some of them that do offer some free readings. I don't know who all of them are, but I know there's Cheri22, which she's on Facebook. If you just search Cheri22, you can get a hold of her, and she does do a free reading that just includes the baby you're trying to conceive now, and what its birth month, conceive day, or find out end date would be. And that's like in the free portion of the reading and stuff. And all you have to do is email her. I know there is a pretty good weight on it, but I mean, this is something that is like really, really fascinating. And at the same time, it breaks up the monotony of TTCing, and just kind of, I don't know, gives you something to look forward to. And I am looking forward to these dates coming up and seeing if any predictions are, right, or anything like that, and going from there. So the only thing that was kind of off in this was I was hoping for more babies and stuff. But I did ask her when I responded, because she asked me, if there was any other questions I had and stuff after that reading. Since I got a paid for reading, I have up to 30 days to ask her any questions about anything. So I can keep, messaging her if something comes up that, I'm curious about, or, whatever and stuff. So I had asked her if there were any more children that potentially were there, whether we didn't conceive them or anything like that. But I'll see. When I get the rest of my reading and stuff from her, I'll post another video. It probably won't be as long as this one. I know this one got really long, but like I said again, it is like really, really interesting. So I was pretty excited about it, and yeah, I don't know. If y'all look into it and stuff, check them out and stuff. There's Cheri22, and then I don't remember what the other one is, but it's like TTCbabypredictions.com, I think is what it's on. But I googled some of them, and they like came up, some that I had heard in other videos. If you actually search in the YouTube videos for TTC predictions, there's actually a lot of us girls who have made videos talking about it. So if it's something you're interested in, go and look some of those other videos up and check into them and stuff, because it is something that's pretty cool. And most of them, if you just get the basic readings, excuse me, they are like $5 or free to just find out, girl or boy, and then, the month related to them. So that is it for tonight. And now that since my husband is asleep, like I showed you, he's passed out. I don't know if you guys seen him before, but there he is. He's out. Now that he's like out cold, I'm gonna go ahead and get my overhead light turned off and probably sit back and play on Facebook a little bit more and go to sleep in a little bit myself. So we will talk to y'all later, and y'all have a good night. Bye.